I really just want to be outside and gardening. I'm gonna work it. I think it's kind of cool.
I'm so excited.
And then all of our ranunculus is also in the greenhouse.
Hello, welcome to Yellow Door Urban Homestead. I am Asia, and I'm an urban gardener growing in a small space out in my backyard. And y'all, guess what? The soil is starting to thaw. Enough for me to pull plants out of the block beds. Now, the bags are not thawed. I cannot get these plants out of here, and I'm not gonna worry about it, but let me show you something. I've already pulled this one. I'm so excited. So what I'm gonna do today is pull all of these dead plants out of the beds that I can get them out of. Like I said, I tried the bags.
Well, I tried like one of them. I could not. Oh, well, that one. Oh no, it wasn't straight down. Anyway,
the bags are still frozen. You know that's where I want my potatoes at, but I'm gonna give it some time. Anyway, the block beds though, they are good to go. We cleared this one off camera. I was just out here and I was like, oh, I guess I should get my camera because we're gonna go ahead and amend these beds. So we're gonna get our meal grinds in here and our rabbit manure in here and then probably some granulated fertilizer. Because if you remember, I'm not putting bone meal or blood meal in any spot until I am planting because I'm going to use those type of fertilizers for the actual plant. So whatever I'm planting, if that's what it needs, that's what I'll put in there. If it doesn't, like beans, it doesn't need either one. So I won't add anything else to their planting holes. But anyway, y'all, I was so excited. Oh, the green stalks are also not thawed yet.
And I wouldn't say they're not thawed, but it's not easy to get the plant out. So I'm gonna focus on the things that I can do easily today, which are the block beds. And so that's where we had our broccoli, pretty much broccoli and kohlrabi. All that's gonna get pulled. This is our collards and they are, baby, dead. I mean, straight up dead. So we're gonna pull those collards too. The other thing I wanted to show y'all real quick is in the Bootstrap Farmer greenhouse. Yeah, I'm very happy to have this. I did not have it last year this time. I got it at the end of last year if you're new here. Because it's about, I wanna say 40 something degrees today, right? Let's see, let's check it together real quick. Yes, it's exactly 40 degrees right now. But guess what the temperature is? With the sides rolled up, when the sides was rolled down, it was 100+ degrees in here. With the sides rolled up, it's 80 degrees in here still. So I'm pretty excited to see that. Because if you remember, I have switched my spring planting into this Bootstrap Farmer greenhouse. So with that being the case, I feel pretty happy knowing that it's still gonna be nice and warm in this greenhouse. And so I wanna take a minute to thank Bootstrap Farmer for sponsoring this video. If you have never heard of Bootstrap Farmer, these trays that you always see me use, they are from Bootstrap Farmer. I absolutely love their trays, not only because they are super colorful and makes it really fun to do my seedlings, but also because they air prune. Even in our larger trays, you can see these little slits. The roots are able to come out of the tray and they can air prune and roots will start in other places for the plant. So these are 3.3 inch trays. They also have 4 cell trays, which I actually like too. They also have the root pruning technology in pretty colors. These are some snapdragons that I potted up last night. Everything is being fertilized right now and they have a nice hole at the bottom. Makes it easy for you to pop your cell out when it's time for planting. And then I think my favorite to just start my seeds in, these are celery, are the 6 cell trays. They are kind of small, but you can grow in them for a while. And they also have the root pruning technology, y'all. So this is my celery and it's doing really, really well. And then I cannot forget to mention these 10-20 trays. Very sturdy. All of their stuff is very sturdy. Gonna last you for quite some time. Also, the colors. I always say that. The colors are just beautiful. And every tray that they have or cell tray they have fits nicely into the 10-20 trays. That's one of the main reasons why I like it, because everything fits snugly. And then of course, like I said, very sturdy. These things are made in the US. Really good company. So Bootstrap Farmer is a company of farmers
or urban homesteaders or homesteaders that know what we need. And that's who's designing these things. That's who's working to get these things built for us. So if you're looking for some US made, gonna last for a while type material to start your garden, to start your seeds, to use year after year, check out Bootstrap Farmer. There's a link down in my description. And also, if you're looking for a greenhouse, this greenhouse has really made me excited. I've always wanted one, but you see them in these really large sizes. This one is a 10 by 12 roll up sides. You can do that as an add-on. Also, they have netting, which I need to put on mine. I just haven't done that yet. Also, y'all, look, I found a way to keep my sides up. Because I was working with limited space, I couldn't actually do it the way they had it, but this worked out really well for me. So now I roll my sides up, which I realized I had to do once I got that thermometer in there because I had no idea it was getting to 100 degrees. Anyway, if you're interested, check out the link down in my description for Bootstrap Farmer. Let's get over here and start to pull out these plants. So y'all, it was a weird winter if you ask me. Like for my area, this weather, it was a weird winter. But I am okay with being able to kind of get a head start on getting ready for the summer. Because now that I'm going to plant the plants into the greenhouse, I do not have to worry about planting these beds for spring. So they really will get a little bit of a break from growing from now until May. I plant out the first week of May. My last frost though is actually sometime in April, like early April. But to be safe, I always plant out in May, and all of this isn't completely thawed over here, but we're gonna pull what we can. It's not all thawed though. The top of it is ice. Maybe we won't do the fertilizing today because that's a whole chunk of ice right there. We'll just get everything pulled today. Wasn't like this in the other bed, but I really just want to be outside and gardening. So this will have to do for today. Oh, by the way, I did just fertilize all of those seedlings I showed y'all, and I switched to espoma. Somebody had mentioned it in the comments, and at first I was saying my plants really just needed nitrogen, and the spring ones did just need nitrogen. But when I looked at the Fox Farm, there's no nitrogen in that fertilizer. I was like, well, why? And then I remembered that somebody mentioned like just diluting the espoma, and I have a lot of espoma because I got it on sale at the end of the season last year. And I know I shouldn't be walking on these beds. It's okay, y'all. But also, this soil, if you remember last year, I did a lot of work on these block beds, and this soil is really nice. There is no compaction or anything in it. So, oh, and seeing lots of worms too. So I'm very excited about that. I was like, oh, it worked. Because I was like, what am I doing wrong with these beds? So I'm hoping to see some better growth this year from like tomatoes and peppers. Because if you remember, I am going to try to grow some tomatoes and peppers in these beds this year. I did a lot of work on it. Like turn these beds over, added little amendments. Like I put perlite in here, I think. I added a lot because the soil just didn't seem to be healthy at all. But seems really nice now. And I may run the fork through it this year too, just to be safe, but not nearly the way that I did it last year. And I probably could have left these. They're Swiss chard, but we're just gonna go ahead and take these out too. We will have more Swiss chard in the greenhouse. So I'm just gonna go ahead and cover this back up, and maybe next week we'll be able to go ahead and add some amendments to it. But right now, this whole bed is not thawed. So we're just gonna wait. See, that's a whole block of frozen soil. So we did get it cleared out, and that is what matters. We're getting a jump start on some of the work because we're gonna be doing all of this work basically at one time to get ready. And some of the straw is getting mixed in with the soil. It's not a big deal. Straw breaks down, and this straw is finely cut, so it breaks down really quickly. You know what we can do, what we can see is if the bed that we want to move the elderberry to, if that's thawed enough, because we can go ahead and move that elderberry today too, I think. Before we move on to trying to figure out if we can move that elderberry, I'm gonna go ahead and pull these collard plants. Yeah, there's a nice amount of worms in here too. Nice. It is so nice to see that your hard work is paying off, because I worked my butt off trying to fix these beds
before we plant it. I'm gonna leave these. They're just some of the leaves. They'll go back and feed the soil too. I also think mulching was very helpful in this situation too. I think I made good choices this year. Well, end of last year is when I made those choices, I do believe. Oh, y'all, I am not upset about this. I'm so ready for spring and to be planting for summer. And if I could get a head start, yeah, I'm in there. Also did get some more straw. So when it's time for me to recover this, I can do it. Like after I mend it, I'll be able to go ahead and just mulch it again. So we won't have to run to the store. But yeah, this bed isn't fully thawed either. That's a whole chunk of frozen soil. But the soil can be worked, and that's what matters. I'm gonna work it. But see, these are collards. More than likely though, if I'm honest, they probably would have started growing collards from like down here. But I am more ready to just start getting ready for the next season. Can't hold on to it forever. And since we're gonna use a greenhouse, there's no need for me to hold on to them. I don't know if y'all can see the worms that's moving around down here or not, but I'm very excited. Worms in your soil is a good thing. Shows that there's life in the soil. I'm excited. I'm probably gonna add some worm castings at some point into these beds too. I used some because I had to amend the beds in the greenhouse because we'll be planting those out Sunday. And so I did use some. I did not record that because I just wanted to be out in the garden, y'all. I have to redo these beds anyway. So I'll just show my process when I do the beds out in the main garden. So yeah, let's see if anything else can be pulled real quick. Let's see. And if you are not new here, you know I got rid of my compost pile. All of this stuff is gonna go to the chickens, and either they will eat it or it'll break down in their area, which is still cool because I use that. I will be using that for the garden as compost. Also, this is coming out, so yay! We getting stuff done, y'all. It might just be the bags that'll be left for us to clear out, which is so unfortunate because what I actually need right now are the bags for my potatoes. But hopefully by the end of the month, they will be unfrozen and I can get my potatoes planted. I'm putting them in the purple bags. Y'all, I'm so excited. Oh, somebody asked me to try these to find out if I could eat these after they've been frozen. For me and them, I'm not gonna do it. I don't want to. I'm not doing something I don't want to do because somebody else want to know. They're burnt. They have been frozen and unfrozen. I'm not doing it. So next year in fall, we're doing all green magic. All green magic everywhere. These did not convince me that they would be good ones to plant for fall. So this was DICICCO and Green Goliath. And then we also had the Godzilla that I wanted to try. We probably will try that again, but that'll be the only other variety other than green magic. I'm happy that I tried this. I'm happy that I now know, like I know for myself that my best option is green magic, and that's what I'm gonna do. All right, let's go see what else we could get pulled, y'all. This is just a basic day out here because I can be out here and it's nice. I actually was about to run to the store, get some potatoes so I can make some more mashed potatoes to put through the freeze dryer, like a good amount of them to put through the freeze dryer because I have been using those freeze dried potatoes for mashed potatoes. All right, let's go check the cabbage bed. Which, by the way, look at that. That's a cabbage we harvested and it's trying to grow like little small cabbage heads. I don't know if they'll amount to anything, but I might leave this one, if none of the rest, just to see what happens with that. I think it's kind of cool. Now, there is actually still ice and snow over here because, like I said, it gets shaded. So this might not be, oh no, it's coming out. So we'll be able to amend a lot. That'll be next on our list. These things didn't even have good roots. Like, girl, I know they have shallow roots, but that shallow? Small root systems for sure. Yeah, they're terrible, but the chickens will love this. I'm gonna leave that one that's putting out them little tiny ones though I want to see what happens. The chickens are making a lot of noise. I was looking, trying to make sure there wasn't nothing over there, which it would be a bold something just to show up while I'm out here with them. But I mean, I guess some things probably don't care if we honest. All right, so that's that. Let's see about this bed. These were collards. Yeah, it's coming up, but it's still frozen. They coming out, but the soil is frozen still for the most part, which is fine. We'll just get the plants out if we can. Yeah, that's frozen. See, this is more shaded, so we'll just leave that there, which makes me think that the bed that we want to put the that I want to put the elderberry bush in is not going to be thawed, but we about to check it. Because this is in a section that gets shaded a lot too. Yeah, that's not thawed yet. Not like completely. So we'll have to wait on that. We did get a decent amount done today though. I'm gonna give this stuff to the chickens, and every day I'll just come out here to see if there's any other spaces that can be pulled that have thawed out, because what I want to do is I want to get the fertilizer into the soil so it can start to break down, so that when I plant out in May, all of the nutrients that I've put in the soil is available to the plant at that time. So that's what I'm hoping for. So we had to change our plans a little bit. This was supposed to be where the spring garden is getting planted. That's not going to happen. But I think that it's better to put it in the greenhouse, if I'm honest. And I checked the other greenhouse earlier today. That's still not thawed. But it's like 70 degrees in there now because I have the door shut. So that's really cool. So like, listen, if you are in my situation where everything has been under ice for a while, just go outside and check. You might be surprised. I was very surprised this morning when I went to pull a plant out of that block bed, and I was able to pull it. So I was like, oh, I'm about to get to work. I said, let me go get my camera so they can work with me. The next thing is Sunday. So y'all will probably see me Sunday. Is we're gonna be planting out that greenhouse. I'm so excited. But also, you know what? I didn't really tell you what seedlings were outside right now. So like if you are in my area and you have seedlings started, some of them are staying all night. Some of them are not. So let's go talk about that real quick. And then I'm probably gonna see y'all on Sunday. So I was on my way to the greenhouse to show y'all what I was gonna show you. I'm not gonna pull these Brussels sprouts just yet. Those leaves, look, you can hear it and everything. So I don't think this plant is dead. I think it's a little sad and droopy right now, but I don't think these plants are dead. And so we're gonna leave them to see what happens. Might be able, now I don't think this one that's the case with this one, but more the larger ones in the back. I think that they might be able to survive and give us something in the spring. So we're just gonna leave those for now. We're gonna leave all of them for now, honestly. But let me show you what's in the greenhouse real quick as it relates to seedlings. Okay, so what's outside right now? What you're seeing in this row right here, that's staying outside overnight, and I'm not covering it or anything. So, well, not outside, but in the greenhouse. So you have our calendula, but the calendula is going out into the main garden. So I won't be planting that in here. You also have onions right here, probably some shallots and leeks as well. There's Swiss chard, there's cabbage, more Swiss chard. These are the onions that I will be planting in here in between the crops. They are much older than these right here, so I'm letting these grow a little bit more, and they will go out in the garden somewhere or in a green stalk. But these are going to get planted in this greenhouse on Sunday, and these are onion, shallots, and leeks too. I'm pretty sure of that. Then you have a bunch of broccoli. Now our broccoli rabe has gone to seed in the middle. I pulled it out. Broccoli rabe honestly is already, see right there, and it may not be going to seed. It may just be trying to produce. So that's why I really want to get this stuff in too. Anyway, they're like little florets anyway, so I did not get rid of them. I'm still going to plant them. I think they will be fine. Then you have more broccoli back here. We also have cabbage up here. These are the Katarina cabbage. They have very short days to maturity. I want to say like 40 some days. Those are the only variety that I picked for spring because our springs are short. And then you have snapdragons. They are very cold hardy. I don't need to do anything to them. They're going to survive, but I'm going to leave them in the pots. They're not going to be planted. However, I'm leaving them outside because they can get their sun from outside. I don't have a lot of space in the house to keep all my seedlings in the house. So, by the way, I did not snip this. I didn't snip any of these. When I was potting this up, this broke. But do you see why they say you should snip? You got 2 more basically branches that's about to grow out of here. And now this will be a shorter plant as opposed to a taller plant with more limbs. So I still can do that. Don't know if I will or not. And then right here you have some Brussels sprouts. Don't know how well that's going to go. These 2 plants are Brussels sprouts. The rest of this is broccoli because I do want more broccoli. And we did not meet our broccoli goal. That's because we planted varieties that did not come to harvest soon enough before it got too cold. So there's a lot of them that we didn't even get to harvest. Next year we will only be doing green magic, and I think that we will get to our broccoli goal. Now the next set of seedlings are our chamomile. Chamomile can survive a little bit of cold. They also prefer chillier weather. They don't prefer just a lot of heat. In my area, they normally die out, like midsummer. But so the chamomile is out here. The celery is out here because it can handle a little bit of frost. I wouldn't put them this small, like out in the elements, but in the greenhouse, I think they'll be fine. We have our thyme. I up potted this stuff, not the celery. The thyme I up potted. These are some more snapdragons. They look pretty bad, but we'll see what happens. The dill is out here. The cilantro is out here. Both prefer chillier weather. Dill and cilantro will bolt or, send up a flower, which this would be coriander. So cilantro would turn into coriander when it flowered and put its seeds out. And dill, you could use dill seeds to cook. There's some more chamomile, another snapdragon, and then all of our ranunculus is also in the greenhouse. So it frees up space inside, but also they still can grow outside without having to actually be planted because we have the greenhouse, y'all. I'm very excited. And I had another greenhouse last year. I did the same thing, but I feel like this is getting way better light over here. And I feel like it's holding the temperature a little bit better in this one than the one I had last year. Anyway, if you're interested in this greenhouse and anything bootstrap farmer related, make sure you check out the link down in my description. And I hope that y'all enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to visit me over on Instagram where I post about the things going on in my garden almost every day. Bye, y'all.